Ho!
Monday, Monday, Monday.
It is Monday, and it is a great day,
It is a
and
Monty Monday.
a Monte Monday, and the perfect day for another edition of Get Found.
And be seen.
Ooh, that was nice and mellow and smooth.
Try to match yours. Trying to match.
Oh, good. Yeah, I saw that. Nice, nice. And that was quick too. You had to be quick and witty, right?
That's right. No rehearsals on this one.
No rehearsals.
We talked about what we were going to talk about, but we didn't talk about how we are going to intro.
That's true. That's true. And I like what we're talking about today, Monty. The dynamic duo. I love that. So we're the dynamic duo. Oh, is it we? Or is it?
We are the dynamic duo. I forgot to tell you to wear your costume. It's all right. It's not quite Halloween yet.
No, well, we get close to Halloween. We will do that. Let us know, guys, if you think we should, by the way. But with the duo we're talking about is niche focus and specialized skills. But we are the dynamic duo.
Thereof.
The balance, the overlap, well, we'll discover the other things we'll talk about.
All those things. But it's interesting that, we're not just talking about a topic. You and I have been talking about this. And It's a journey that we have started and we are on. And it's not just something that's like, hey, in this show, we're going to solve this or we're going to define this. No, we are discussing this, and we figured, hey, instead of just discussing it and then doing a show, because we started discussing it anyway, let's just discuss it on the show and reveal all these nuances that we're encountering as we talk about, niching down and targeting messages. But specialization is about me and what I do and how I help people, and how can we do that. Not only that, but since we're doing it together, co-hosting, how do we mesh that together between two people? So it's a complexity level a little bit beyond just me, like my rebranding journey. This is kind of the separate side journey going on.
Right. I love it. It's like storylines in a movie. You got multiple storylines. But the storylines are important, and it takes intentionality for sure. So for things to be amplified. Thought I'd put your word in there, Monty.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. So it's interesting, So maybe perhaps we could start with just talking about our journeys. What do you think?
All right.
Our journeys. And interestingly, and it's funny because I could go first, and I'm kind of, thinking about it as we're talking about it. Of course, like you mentioned, we talked about it, but we're in constant thought about it and planning. So for me, my journey was focusing on coaches. Even wrote a book about that, and I love the book. The book is still great. Still selling the book. But I found too on my journey, there was this thing inside of me where I was like, just one struggle I've had my whole entertainment career was being an introvert, right? And so different ways, being able to make impact as an artist, being able to make an impact fast forwarding as a business owner, right? The different communities, but still feeling that same struggle I felt when I was a teenager. Still feeling that same struggle I felt when I was 13, Monty. And it was being an introvert. And back in the 90s, if you were an introvert, to some, you were considered selfish. It was just something, an area that just wasn't understood. So in my journey as a business owner, understanding, just, hey, I'm an introvert, and embracing that. And you know what? There are other people out there who are introverts as well. It made me think, you know what? I want to focus on helping introverts as well. I help other people, of course, but my specific area of focus, I want to be able to help people out is introverts. And then this is with my special, and that's the niche. Well, here's the thing. That's the niche, but also there's some overlap. There's also a specialty in that, because as I continue to work on my craft, I consider it a craft, to be able to help people and help them with present development on camera or on stage. It's a craft. So that area of helping introverts is a craft with that. I have to handle it in a certain way, and I could identify with it in a big way, you know. So, but also there's that niche side of things too. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, and there's several layers that
Right.
you're describing there. So introverts isn't a specialization. Introverts is a niche. It's
Correct.
just an umbrella niche because you have introverted different kinds of people.
Right.
And so you're actually not targeting introverts because you're not targeting introverted crane operators.
Yeah.
You're not targeting introverted nurses.
Right.
Not that you wouldn't necessarily be able to help them in specific areas, but
Yeah.
that's not the ideal client for you.
Yeah. Right. Well, actually, I do have maybe to be clarified too. I'm targeting small business owners who are introverts. So introverted small business owners.
Right. So there's
Yeah.
a more narrow,
Right.
There's a narrower niche, but it's still your specialization is about you.
Right.
So your specialization is the presence king. It's all about presence, the presence in front of camera, the presence in front of people, presence in front
Yeah.
of people, whether it's audience or one-on-one or conference meeting. So that it
The lens.
spans across all these different things. And that's where
Right.
that balance of niche and specialization, because the specialization you could go too far and again start helping people that aren't your ideal client.
Right. Totally. And that's interesting. It's an interesting journey because even through that journey, I've come across people who, potential introverted real estate brokers or agents, and there's so in my journey, I'm right. That's where I'm at right now. I'm looking, and I've had people come to me where I'm servicing them, and they have that introverted side, but they are in other industries where I could narrow down even more if I wanted to, but right now at this point, I decided not to. You know what I mean?
No, I think,
Or Mhm.
or
or if I want to have the option, how I like to have options 90 days from now or 120 days from now, 6 months from now, go in that direction. But I'm conscious of that. That's the important thing. So I could be, because if I'm conscious, I could be intentional about it.
intent with intent.
Intent with intent.
I think the balance, the mesh, the recipe of putting that together for you lies in your specialization is presence. Your niche is introverted small business owners.
Right.
Yeah. And so therefore it's like, okay, but I can talk about introverted stuff and not target business owners specifically.
Yes.
And so it's just my general talking. But when I
Right.
want to send out when I want to make a landing page, I can identify, well, this landing page is for the introverted coaches. And this landing page is for the introverted small business owners that are brick and mortar service-based businesses, or a realtor-based, property-based. There's just
Right.
different niches that you can cater to in the copy and content area that fall under your umbrella and give you that power, especially for these 30 days, I'm going to target the realtors. For this 30 days, I'm going to target the construction workers. For this 30 days, I'm going to target. And there's part of that rebranding and pivoting too. Because then
Right.
it's this took off. I'm so busy. I no longer have time to talk to the contractors and the
Right.
other people. The realtors
Right.
suddenly exploded. And now I know, because I'm having a good time doing it and I'm making money from it
Mm-hmm.
and I can scale it. It's like,
Right.
oh, all the things plugged together. All right. So there's my pivot point. Oh, go for that direction.
Right.
Or
Right.
maybe it's the
And that's a
contract. Or maybe it's
right.
the other guys. Or 60
Right.
days later, it's like, okay, that's all set up. It's going. I scaled it to where it needs to go. I'm now I have the option. I can either invest more time into this, or maybe I want to shift now. Maybe
Right.
something else has come up. There's that. Don't
Yes.
lock yourself into just one thing necessarily, but with intent, you can focus intentfully.
Yes. I love that. And that's what and I think, Monty, I realize as we talk too, that I think that's one of the things I love about being able to have my specialization, because I can feel comfortable in that and have the option to go where I want to go. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So interesting.
That, like, for me,
Your mission statement is a blend of you and them. It's what I am trying to do and the result I'm trying to get from it, which the result is for other people, unless your mission statement is all about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, let's not
Well,
even go there. So why I'm going there is the thought came to, hey, if you were to define a mission statement about presence for introverts, that's that overlying thing. That's where I'm at, because it's here's my mission statement. I hadn't had a chance to tell you yet. So here we go. Helping people share their knowledge with the world to counteract AI. And so
say that
there's
one more time.
My mission statement is to help people share their knowledge with the world to counteract AI. So AI is turning through everything and
right,
agglomerating it together, finding the cream of the crop, but it's still the average of the cream.
Woo, so, right there.
It's your vote. It's your vote,
it's your vote.
In the AI world of internet content. How many times can you vote? Lots.
And you get average if you're not careful.
That's the mission statement of helping people. Well, who are those people? That's where the niche comes in. That's if I want to talk to these people, if I want my mission to actually succeed, I need to talk to specific people to help them share their message. Because some people don't know they have a message. Some people don't think their message is worth it. Some people don't know how to get their message out there. Some people have started and gotten stuck along the process. Some people are sending their message out but don't feel like they're being heard. All these stages of that journey. We haven't even defined if they're coaches or speakers or course creators and I'm like, well, but people who can share their knowledge, that could be realtors and construction workers and all sorts of people. Who can I help get their vote into the internet so the AI immortalizes them? Practically anyone. So, but there's that risk. I don't want to help just anyone, because it's a business and I need to make money at it. I need to be successful. So there's another balance to get in there. It's like, okay, well, I need people who know they have a problem, want to do something about it, and have money to spend on it.
Those are some really, really good points too. And I think too, for different business owners, it's different. You know, if you're one who you can pivot quickly, you can bob and weave. It's easier for you. But if you're one who is hard to do that, it's, you may want to, play it more safe, so to speak. Like for me, like I could, like what like we mentioned, the introverted small business owners. But if people come to me for a specific project, I could always pivot real quick and get something out really lickety split. You know what I mean? Get it done. And then that's one thing. Or like what we do, a partnership. We could, but not every business can do that.
Or a collaboration. Some people get the idea of partnership, where it's like, oh man, there's legal contractual things.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, there is that, but we're not doing that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about just collaborating.
Right.
Some accountability, some putting effort into the same thing, trying to achieve some synergy. If we can amplify some results.
Yeah.
So there doesn't have to be any contractual portion of it, just a mutual.
Right. Right. If you choose. But man, that sounds like that's artistic expression right there. But it's super helpful. It's great. I love how we can collaborate, Monty, and get in which we have some things coming out in the future. We'll discuss at some point. We'll let you guys know.
Right. Well, and we've been doing the podcast for a year, over a year, and there's just so much learning that was going on during that time that, we will benefit by looking back and defining that and looking at where we're at, where we were, where we're at, and where we want to go. Because we didn't actually set that when we started. Where do we want to go? We just wanted to go.
Yeah. Imperfect action.
All right, we're going. Great. And with with any endeavor, you risk a plateau period, which we attained. We were going, and we were going, and we were going. Where were we going? We were going good places.
Yeah.
But there wasn't a lot of intent any further. The intent had tapped. Just keep doing it.
Right.
Which is part of the equation, the incomplete thought.
Exactly. The presence and camera coach in me says, well done, because that's what you got to do. Because if we wanted to put the stuff out, how many videos have we got out on platforms? You know what I mean? So that, as far as, while some people may look at that and say, well, what result? That's a result every single week, actually. That's huge. And then you could we have content we could even use. But again, like you mentioned, the plateau, absolutely. You know what I mean? Where do we go next? Because we started out in perfect action. Okay. And you can't just go in perfect action. You got to keep climbing.
You got to keep striving to, how do you say it? Permanent. Permanent action.
Ooh, yeah.
No, it's imperfect action, and it always will be imperfect action, but we want to be more intentfully towards perfect action, towards more efficient action, more effective action.
Permanent.
Another nice balance.
Right. So it's definitely, it's definitely both, So I look forward to being it but what you mentioned too, it was really good. I think you pointed it out. It's really good to be able to see that and have that that self-awareness so that we could climb.
Right. And take it further. And that's what so by defining my mission statement I like to use the term coalesce. There's this fogginess out there, and it coalesced some things for me, defining the mission statement and how it interacts with my ideal client, my specialization, and the niches that I have available to target.
Yeah. Love it.
And the balance of all of that.
That's a pretty solid mission statement too. I love it.
And so if you were able to apply a mission statement to what you have described there in those layers, I think that would help mesh and coalesce that.
Yeah. All right. I have my mission statement. I just don't have it in my head right now. I treat it like songs and lyrics. Sometimes I get it out of my head.
So then it breaks up into other things too. It's like, well, I also talk about unwhelmed. So there's my personal mission, but the business mission is the spreading knowledge.
Oh, you said personal mission.
Yeah. So then so here's a way to address niches. It's like, okay, well, I specialize in this thing. Well, when I talk about it, I'm talking to the overwhelmed people, overwhelmed entrepreneurial professionals. When I'm on Get Found, Be Seen, I'm going to be talking to the people who are trying to put out not talking to people. My gist is put out content to combat AI. That's the helping people share their knowledge with the world to combat AI. So there's the get found, be seen. And then I have another podcast starting that I can really focus in on the ideal client.
Right. And will your mission kind of overlap? I'm curious.
I think that mission does overlap because for you to spread your knowledge and target niches and counteract AI, all those things, it's that umbrella kind of thing. You need to know your ideal client. You need you to cast your vote, and it's overwhelming. To cast your vote is overwhelming. Into the AI world, because you have to find the right platform, you have to find the right engaging content, you have to find the right pattern for you, and then there's that whole aspect of that thing for you. You're talking about small business owners earlier, and it's like, but and for some people, bandwidth and energy level of how much you can do and what you can do and when you can do it and how often you can do it. What is consistent to different people? Because once a week for some people is consistent, and other people is once a day. And if you have to start out at once a month, it's a start.
Yeah, that's true. That's really true. Man, Monty, that what you said is solid too. It's just what your mission statement is. We could talk about that too. That is solid, man. Just even the conversation with AI in there as well is huge, and it's going to play a big part as we keep moving forward, because it's getting more and more crowded.
And the more we talk about it, now I'm saying it's like, oh well, so the bricklayer. Oh, well, I would love to help someone get their knowledge out about their techniques on bricklaying. And because here's the thing, it's like, yeah, well, there's thousands of people with bricklayers, there's thousands of YouTube videos. And it's like, yeah, and I've gone through a bunch of YouTube videos that didn't help me at all, because they were in the desert, or they were in the mountains, or they were someplace where it snows. And so they were saying, you need to do it like this. It's like, yeah, it doesn't snow where I'm at, so I don't need to do it like that. So there's that, hey, I lay bricks in quicksand. Wow. Okay. Or whatever, on sand. Or I do it, I lay them sideways. I do it in this other way. Here's how I mix my special mortar. Here's what my dad taught me. All those things. That way, at least when AI is going out there and churning through everything, it's getting a bunch of different angles of humans rather than a bunch of different angles of rewritten content by AI bots.
Yeah. Woo, that's a whole other topic right there.
Yeah.
But a good one. Oh, dude, I can't wait for you to talk about that.
My driving force now. It's like, there's so many people that are afraid to get out, so it's Carl can help them for the presence thing. Then there's the people that aren't tech savvy. It's like, I can help people with that. And then there's the, I don't understand where to go. I don't understand how everything meshes together. It's like, well, Anza and I have a whole 12-week program for that. So there's my different levels. I don't have to pick one niche. It's just when I'm talking to the niche, I need to have it clearly identified.
Right.
But when I'm talking about what I do, I don't need to niche down, because that's my specialization. I help people become unwhelmed.
Yeah. Love it, man. Love it, Monty.
Of course, I need to add that on there. Unwhelmed in their marketing process, not in their buying habits or,
shopping
for cat lady and cats.
shopping at Stop and Shop, if there's a Stop and Shop where you're at.
No, but I can glean the name. The name seems like it identifies. No, but we have Amazon.
Well, yeah, Amazon. There we go. Now this was a deep topic though. This this was something that, it's good for people to talk about, because even with us, I feel like we're bringing to light this conversation where if you hear about it online, you hear one side or the other side. You don't hear both combined together, which I think is super important, because it has the potential to, if you talk about one or the other, it's good. And I think it works for people, but there's that also that group of people whom that's going to confuse the tar out of them. You know what I mean? So,
Well, that's what happened to
yeah,
me, was
yeah,
the narrowing down the niche is difficult for some people. There's other
yeah,
people that it's just total sense, makes sense because of what
right,
they're doing and who they can help the most. And the fact that those people, there's large numbers of them, and they're easy to find, so it's like
yeah,
there are some businesses and some circumstances that are easier than
right,
others. So
right,
be it.
right. Or it just works for them. It just, hey, this just it makes sense, easier. I don't have to think too much about it. Boom, easy peasy. Not, business not easy, but you know what I mean.
There's also
So
the aspect of, are some of those extroverted people?
yeah,
Does that make it easier? May or may not. That's another
yeah,
one that there's exceptions across the board.
right.
But
For
there's
everyone, it's
there's
different.
that, hey, everybody needs to approach it in their own way. And I always go back to that. Some people can restructure their life and create a whole new income in 30 days. All these
Yeah,
success stories, click funnels and awards and things like that. But there's another set of people that aren't on the precipice of destruction. And so they're not, they have stuff to lose. The other people have already lost it. Or I guess that's the wrong way to say it, because some people do have stuff to lose. And that's what's driving them forward. So I guess it's
yeah.
that, again, where's your balance of
That
stuff?
balance. Hmm.
And for me, I needed to maintain what I had. I wasn't that I lost my income. It's I wanted to shift income. I guess there's the huge difference. Most of those people lost their income.
Hmm.
There's where the big thing is. When you lose your income suddenly, you need new income, and you are motivated to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You already have an income. It's not the income you want. I guess you could choose to give it up and then put yourself in that circumstance. But my wife would not have made my life pleasant if I had done that.
It might have been tough family wise. There's that there's all the in betweens, Monty, because there's that's me. I could make some choices to do certain things. Even as an artist, I've always had to do that. Even since I was married, I could go and tour in Japan. I can go tour in another country, but my wife might not be too happy with that, or my kids.
Or your kids. See, I'm at the
You
stage
know.
now. My kids are grown up. I don't have that aspect. It's just my wife that I need to be juggling into the act. You have several
Hmm.
kids and the wife to juggle into your
Right.
act. So
Right.
there's that demonstration of different people with different bandwidths and different time frames. To be the outstanding and above average and fantastic father that you are, you need to be available to just turn things off and say, all
Right.
right, what do you need your dad for? How
Right.
can I help?
Right. And that's why I like to say, I want to scale my business. Absolutely. Am I there yet? Nope. But I want to scale my life more so, because that includes scaling my business, scaling my family, scaling my values. And that's all value based. You know what I mean? So,
And there's where that
yeah.
balancing again with the niche and
Mm.
an ideal client. So that way you don't waste your time, because your time is so precious. Everybody's time is
Mm.
precious. I just feel that
Right.
fathers and mothers and parents and people who
Hmm.
are influencing kids, their time is more precious. And
Right.
so because they're devoting so much of their time for that, but they need time
Right.
for themselves too. And that's the
Right.
time that suffers, which then ripple effects out and everybody gets
Mhm.
a taste of it.
Right.
And so it's like, man,
Right. That's why I like to go with values, because it does include the family. But when you go values, you can go deeper, and you can go specific with, this is what I want. This is what I don't want. It doesn't matter what it looks like to people, but this is what I want, this is what I don't want, and this is where I'm going. Now, next, let me go. Now I decided that I'll go spend time with the family now. You know what I mean? Get stuff done,
Right.
go spend time with the family, and I feel happy, at the end of the day. So,
And those
it's
core
all in
values,
betweens.
those core values are a big part of the rebranding, or not rebranding, about branding. The core
Right.
values define your essence, and your essence, your how do I say that? Your mission statement is the definition of your essence. Your core values are what goes into your essence.
Yeah.
And all of those things together are you. It's part of your brand.
Right.
And I've been
I
looking
love
at
that
some of the
perspective.
big
Yeah.
names that I've been seeing out there, and some that aren't as big that I've never seen before and hadn't heard of, and looking at their websites and their marketing, and there's just the ones that are killing it have branded themselves in a certain way. And then they go with that. When I say a certain way, it's not like in the secret way that I'm going to reveal to you. No, each one's different because it has to work for them.
Yeah.
So for
That's
some
true.
of them, there's especially some of the ladies, especially the more attractive ladies that have 47 photos of themselves on one page with, and they spent however much money on a professional photographer to get all of that just primo. But that was with intent. That was branding. That was saying, here's me, here's what I do. And most of those, that's the specialization part.
Yeah. The whole
Then they have
puzzle
special landing
everything.
pages and special marketing and ads and things that they tailor more towards specific niches. So there's another aspect. One of our questions that we had on our list there were tools. And one tool is not so much a tool as a technique. And that's competition analysis, even though it's really poorly phrased. Because it's not competition. It may be your Dream 100. It may be just people who are on their way to where your Dream 100 is, but they have valuable information because they're further along the track than you.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
And that's really helped me looking at, okay, here's some people, they're doing it this way. Here's some people, they're doing it this way. Therefore, I can say, ooh, I like these parts. I don't like those parts. Ooh, here's some gaps. They're not covering this aspect of it that I feel is important. Ooh. All sorts of information you can glean from these other people that may or may not be competition.
Yeah.
But then you might look at it and say,
true.
oh, wow, I love that angle. Let me talk to them. Oh, hey, let's co-author a book. Oh, hey, not like that ever happens.
Right. Opportunities.
That's right. Yeah.
Opportunities.
So it's opportunity analysis, not competition analysis.
Wow.
That's great. Thank you, Carl, for that word.
That's great. That's you, man.
Don't call it
I love it.
Don't think about it as competition analysis. It is opportunity analysis.
Opportunity analysis.
That's right. Opportunity, what not to do opportunity, what to make better opportunity,
right?
Who to work with opportunity. Yeah.
People will hear me clicking in this episode because I'm taking notes. Yes. Love it. Good stuff, Monty. Yeah. Anything else we wanted to discuss?
No, it's time to mull that over. That's something about the process, is that it is not a, hey, one and done, or a, hey, let's just sit down and bust this thing out and then move forward.
Right.
It's not a, you shouldn't move forward. It's a, let me take this thing along. And as I move forward, I'm going to pivot a little bit because this thing's my guiding light.
Right. My compass.
Yep.
So how will we keep it simple?
How are we going to keep that simple? Take it in chunks. That's what I was just describing there. We're rebranding.
Yeah.
We're looking at all these different aspects and how they tie together and how they tie together for us. So this week we're gonna chew on that. See if you can come up with a mission statement. And
well, I have one. I want to make it congruent with all the. I want to see if I could tie it in and not force it, but tie it in. I
right.
just don't have it. Yeah.
Sure. Right.
Yeah.
But that's the point.
Yeah.
Is that, hey, let's
Right.
give that some thought and see
Yeah.
where that ties in, and you've got the same
Right.
concept with me of, oh, well, when I'm on this show,
Yeah.
I can kind of narrow down to this, but I'm not narrowing it down from a whole thing. It's just on this show, I talk more about this than I do elsewhere. And over here with CJ, I'll talk about this more than I talk about elsewhere. And there's how we can move forward with our brand and define it more, and yet not limit ourselves.
Right. I love it. And one thing I say too is just that idea we talked about, harmonizing with the niche versus the specialization. What does that look like for you? You might focus on one, or might focus on the other, or might have an overlap of both. Just a conversation to put out there. What are your thoughts on that? As far as our audience, speak to the audience.
You have a specialization, period.
Yeah.
Whether you identify it and target it is a strategy and a tactic unto itself. The niche, you have to identify and target. But your specialization, that's you. It's, so it's more powerful if you identify it and define it so that you can explain it to other people. But you have a specialization. And therefore, again, you can't improve it. You can't make it better. You can't expand it. You can't do anything with it if you don't define it.
Boom.
Bam.
There you have it. There it is.
I have it.
So, Monty, if someone wants to talk about this conversation we had today, and they want to reach you and they want to say, talk to me about this whole ideal client thing. Talk to me about this specialization thing and niche thing. I need to understand more about it. Where can they find you?
They can find me at montyarmstrong.com. There's a contact form at the bottom if you want to just scroll down and ask a question. You can peruse through and see the different things that I'm doing, and follow us on this journey of rebranding. I like perusing's.
That's cool.
Casual.
That's cool. Casual, cool. Love it.
And then on that other side, there's the limiting factor of stage fright. There's I don't want to be in front of the camera. I don't want to sound goofy. I don't know the right things to say. I just lack confidence in general, or I'm okay, but I'd like to be great. Anyone along those journeys that involve their personal presence and they'd like a little helping hand, they want to ask some questions. Where could they go?
They can go to carlaleen.com. I don't have something at the bottom that you could type in, you could fill out and get to me, but I have a contact page. Contact me, shout me out, and let's get you up on camera or on stage.
And get that book. You mentioned it's targeting coaches, but it's one of those umbrella things. It's good for most anyone that's trying to be in front of an audience of some kind, live or recorded or camera or whatever.
In a room.
In a room.
It works. I've had someone do it. She did public speaking in a room, and it worked. Boom. It works.
Indeed.
Yes, indeed. All right, everyone. Have a great week. Enjoy.
And you've been on another episode of
Get Found
and Be Seen.
Boom. Bam. We out. Peace. Where the balloons at?
Get